Hey, Matt here with Ford Lawyer Marketing. What I wanted to cover today were 7 things that you can implement immediately to help take your law firm's marketing strategy to the next level. This will result in increased website traffic, increased inbound leads, and most importantly, more retained clients. The first tip is to get reviews. I know you've heard this many times, but it's very important. Get reviews, particularly on your Google business profile, but your Facebook, any place you can get a review. I would recommend starting with your Google business profile and going from there. Now, there's a couple of reasons why reviews are important. First and foremost, all things being equal, if somebody is looking for a divorce attorney in Dallas and they go to the local PAC section, all things being equal, if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a consumer, I'm going to be attracted to the firms that have the most reviews and the most positive reviews. So in this case, there's a couple firms. Now this is an ad. They only have 20 reviews, but there's a couple firms that have 299, 306 reviews, and this firm has 48. Now that's not a bad number per se, but generally speaking, potential clients are going to be attracted to those that have more reviews. Furthermore, uh, although it is not a huge ranking factor, reviews are a ranking factor in the Google pack right here. So the more reviews you can accumulate, the higher likelihood you are going to have to show up in this area. So how do you get reviews? We always encourage our clients to, right off the bat, ask former clients, ask current clients, ask people you went to law school with, ask friends, ask family. Implement a very specific strategy that when your client is happy, you're asking for that review. Now, one way, if you're in your Google business profile and you're logged in, one easy way to do this is simply get the review link, which is super easy. It takes the user to the precise place where they are able to leave you a review. So if you're logged into your Google business profile, you notice this Ask for Reviews button right here. You simply click it, copy and paste this review link, save it in a place you're going to remember, and make sure to send your clients, current clients, former clients, whomever is going to give you a review on that, and accumulate as many reviews as you can. Our second tip is to create great content consistently. Now, at the end of the day, search engines such as Google are content directories. So whether you're blogging, you're expanding your website sitemap with relevant pages, you're creating infographics, articles, video content, which is a great way to put out content that we'll get into in a minute. But if you produce great content, search engines such as Google will take notice, and it will increase your website's traffic, your inbound leads, and ultimately the number of clients that you're retaining from the internet. So most of us, most of you have a blog and are probably active in some way. And depending on how well versed you are in the SEO space, you can even reverse engineer it to determine what consumers are searching for in your local marketplace so that you can produce a blog that will answer questions to those queries. And this will position you to get relevant traffic to your site that should turn into opportunities as you move forward. So again, there's a number of ways that you can produce content. Blogging is one of those. We're going to talk a little bit more specifically about videos as well. But the bottom line is the more content you produce, the more consistent you are with it, the more benefits you're going to reap from it. All right, the third tip that we have is start posting videos. Post at least one video a week, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you want to post it. Publish videos. Content is king, as we discussed, and video is a great way to build an audience and get your message across to your target market. So one way that you can be really creative, as we mentioned in the last tip, create great content consistently, is you can repurpose that video content into a blog. For example, one thing we encourage our clients to do and we help facilitate is to do a weekly Facebook Live on a relevant topic specific to their practice area or their practice, right? And they'll do this Facebook Live, spend 10 or 15 minutes doing it. After it's published on the site, as it is here, we'll pull it from Facebook, we'll add it to YouTube, we'll add it to the Google Business Profile, and then we'll also put it through a software that will transcribe that audio into a blog. So this way, we're putting content. We have a couple different ways of getting content out there through the videos, putting them out again on Google, Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. But we're also publishing it as a blog. So in this case, you'll notice there's a number of blogs. We're putting out consistent content that is benefiting him in his search results and traffic and leads. But we're also doing this video where the video is right here. We pulled it, added it to the site, to YouTube, and then we also transcribe that content and have our editors put that out there. So this is a great way to repurpose videos that you have into hit a couple different search engines. YouTube, which is, I believe, the second largest search engine, and then Google with the blog, which is the largest search engine. So just a great way to get exposure, to get website traffic if you start posting videos consistently. And really quick, if we look at this particular client, we started doing videos sometime early in 2022 right here. And his website traffic, he had some decent website traffic. Looks like he's getting about 200-300 visitors on a daily basis. But after he did this, for a month or two, you notice that his traffic exploded, and he's at this point he's seen about a 300% increase. Now, I don't believe this is all because of video, because there's other things that he's doing, such as backlinks and social media and things of that nature. But I do believe that this had a huge impact on the growth that he's seen over the last 18 months or so. Start posting videos. It's very important, and you will see the benefits from it. So the fourth tip that we have is build links. Now, we talked about content and the importance of content in your legal SEO and your legal marketing strategy, but link building is just as important and is a cornerstone of legal SEO. So backlinks are essentially votes for your website. In its simplest form, the more votes you have, the higher you're going to show up in search results for relevant search queries. So a backlink is if a website or a blog or an article or a directory references your site and they're able to click on that link and get to your website. So here's an example of a backlink. Now, this is just an article that was published about a college player that was in some trouble, and you'll notice that this carries a charge will link right back to our client's website because they're referencing the site in one of the blogs that was published out there. So this is a very, what we call, authoritative backlink. It's from a very reputable site, CBS, and not all links are created equal. So if you get a link from a reputable news source such as this, or a legal directory, or a very highly read legal blog, that's going to hold more value in the eyes of Google than a site that barely gets any traffic, doesn't have a high domain rating, so on and so forth. So link building, although it's somewhat of a simple concept, it's a difficult process. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to be spinning your wheels. So there are agencies out there that all they do is link building. And if you have your content marketing in place, if you have your technical SEO down, hiring an agency that will only do link building could be advantageous for your law firm. There's a number of link building companies that we feel do a good job that you could reach out to. A few that come to mind include RhinoRank, Page One Power, the Upper Ranks, the Hoth, and there's a number of others out there as well. But link building can be the missing piece into improving your website's exposure on Google, and can be very, very effective over the course of time. Our fifth tip is hire a call answering service. We did an analysis at the beginning of 2021. We reviewed and analyzed over 10,000 PPC calls that we delivered to our clients. And when I did this analysis, I didn't realize how many calls that these law firms were actually missing. Whether the call happened at 5:01 p.m. And the office closed at 5, or they were on a lunch break, or they just didn't pick up the phone. And what we found was 63% of the calls were being picked up. That means 37% of them were not. And I knew at this time uh, there was something that needed to change. We started recommending hiring a call answering service, especially to the firms that were missing way too many phone calls. One is too many in my opinion, but if you're missing, more than 10% of your calls, not a good thing, because that could be a retained client and money in your pocket. So you guys are in court, you're meeting with clients, you're on the phone, you're busy. If you have a great intake during your business hours of 9 to 5, great. But my guess is from 5:01 p.m. to 8:59 a.m. There's probably not a ton of phone calls coming in, but they do happen. Hire a call answering service. I promise the couple $100 that you will spend will be well worth it, because that person is much less likely to call the next person if they get someone on the phone and they get their information taken down and they know that they're going to get a call back when you're back in the office or when someone's back in the office. So hiring a call answering service is really important in my opinion, and you want to have 24/7, 365 coverage, and a call answering service will help you do that. Our sixth tip is run a PPC campaign. Now, some of the methods that we've been discussing, such as creating more content, creating videos, so on and so forth, these are more SEO strategies, link building, that will take a little time to kind of build up and to you to reap the benefits of. Whereas paid search, pay per click, if done correctly, let me highlight that, if done correctly, if managed correctly, can essentially put you in a position to see leads immediately. Now, we run a lot of paid search campaigns, and if you didn't know, most of you probably do, this is where the pay-per-click ads show up. So whether you're an estate planning lawyer in Chicago, a personal injury lawyer in Los Angeles, a criminal defense lawyer in Omaha, paid search could be a good avenue for you to get the phone ringing immediately, especially if you got the call answering service set up as we discussed in the previous tip. So paid search can be a really good way to do this. Make sure that whoever you work with has really extensive tracking. You should know exactly what you're getting from it. So in this case, you would know that you had 91 phone calls, of which 71 were unique phone callers. And all of this should be tracked. But if you have all those pieces in place and you want to get the phone ringing immediately, consider running a pay-per-click campaign. The seventh tip is give your clients an alternative way to pay for your services. So this wouldn't apply to a personal injury lawyer, for example, that works on a contingency fee basis. But if you're a divorce lawyer, criminal defense lawyer that's working on a retainer, then this could be a very valuable asset to your practice. Now, I've heard over the years many times, hey, Matt, we're getting a lot of leads, but, some of them can't afford to pay for our services. And unfortunately, we can't control whether or not John Smith or Jane Doe can afford your legal services. Our job is to get them in the door, and what happens from there is up to you. Now, we've realized that this is something that happens in the marketplace, so we wanted to be proactive and give options on how to do that. So there's a lot of options out there. We have no affiliation with any of these companies. We just want to provide you that information. So iQualify Lending, for example, is one of those companies. And the way that they work is, if you are working with them, you can put a link on your site where your client can click on it. Within, let's say, a couple minutes, they'll get an approval or a denial for legal retainer financing. And if they choose to take advantage of that, if they're approved, then you would get paid up front, and then your client would actually pay back the financing company. I know that PayPal, for example, has an option to do this as well that we'll go over on a different video. But there are options out there that if that person is not able to pay for your services, whether through cash or through a credit card, you could give them another option, and it could help you retain more clients. So give your clients alternative ways to pay for your services. iQualify Lending is a great option to do that. Give them a shout, see how it could help your business, and you can retain more clients and keep the cash flow going. So hopefully you were able to find at least some of these 7 tips valuable. And I know there's quite a bit there. And if you can't implement all of these, I get it. You know, you're busy, you got a lot going on. But I promise if you're able to implement some or all of these, whether it's adding more content through a video and a blog, or if you get a lot of phone calls but you feel you're missing a lot in hiring a call answering service, or putting in a better review strategy, these things will add up and help you drive more traffic to your site, more inbound leads, help you retain more of those inbound leads. And it's going to help your overall practice. So stay tuned for more information on law firm marketing and different tips and tricks you can use for your law practice.